one of us listening to this podcast right now, you think you know what you're capable of, but you truly don't even know what you're capable of because you probably haven't even unlocked 20 to 30% of your potential. I still haven't even I still believe I still haven't even unlocked 50% of my potential. I'm still growing so much. I've been in this journey now for 3 years, and I know there's so much growth for me now. Basically, I say that the last few years have been more of a rewiring process, right? Rewiring that old program that I had before I started getting into the entrepreneurship journey. Now is that I'm developing that new program. Now is that I'm wiring this process for me to become the most successful individuals, and I'm unlocking that potential, and I'm seeing what I'm more capable of. But I know that I'm still capable of so much more. So what I want you to understand is that we have to live intentional. There has to be an intention behind everything that we do. Okay, what is your purpose in your growth? What is your purpose in the books that you read? What is your purpose behind every meditation session? Okay, there has to be a purpose. Okay, there has to be something created from each and every action that you take, because the problem is that most people, they live unintentional. But when you live unintentional, that doesn't create, it actually destroys, because you're just doing things because other people said to do it. Okay, but when you live intentional, every action you take creates. And that's what we want to do. We want to be creators. Okay, remember, we are God's highest form of creation. Okay, so we have God-like abilities. And one of the beautiful things that God had was his ability to create. And that's what we're doing. We are creating our reality every single day. We wake up, you create your reality. And if you're not happy with your reality, understand that you created it. It wasn't your mom that created your reality. It wasn't your dad. It wasn't any of your family member or your friends or your teachers or your coaches. You create your reality because you become what you think about most. You attract what's the most common thought in your mind. So whatever it is that you're thinking about most is what's going to be created. The reason why I'm seeing the success that I'm seeing right now, the reason why I'm one of the top leaders in New York City, and I have a team of 1,000 plus people worldwide in over 16 different countries, and my podcast is ranked in the United States as one of the top ones, and I have my own baseball academy in the Dominican Republic. The reason why this is all happening is because I created it first in my mind. Remember, what you see in your mind, you can hold in your hands, but you have to see it consistently. But what if I was just seeing the complete opposite? What if I was seeing myself with lack of money, lack of success, not believing in myself? And that's what would have been created. Okay, but because I focused on my success, my growth, the places I wanted to go with, and that's what I created. And I don't say any of this stuff to impress any of you. Okay, I say it to press upon you that a lot can change when you change your way of thinking. Okay, stop allowing other individuals to have more control over your life than you do. Stop allowing the outside circumstances to affect your internal peace. One of the biggest breakthroughs I had was when I stopped caring about what other people had to say about me. Because you see, when you embark on a journey to personal growth, remember, a lot of people don't want to grow because they rather you stay where they are, right? Remember, misery loves company. So if you go out and you decide that you're gonna grow and you're gonna take risk, guess what? Then they're gonna be like, man, I'm gonna have to do that too. And they don't want to do that because they like to be comfortable. Remember, comfort zone is your broke zone. Nothing grows in your comfort zone. Absolutely nothing grows there. So what we must focus on is getting uncomfortable so that way we could tap into the field of infinite possibilities and truly find out what we're truly capable of. So don't let other people, okay, have control over your life. Don't worry about what people have to say about you. Let them make fun of you. Let them talk down on your business and entrepreneurship. Let them tell you that it's not going to work and that you're wasting your time and that you're going to go get a job. Let them tell you those things. And guess what? It's going to come from the people you love most. Let me give you the heads up. It's going to come from the people that you love most, your friends, your family, your girlfriend, your boyfriend. It's gonna come from them. So be aware, but understand that all you have to do is learn to accept or reject. That's all you have to do. Are you going to accept what they said? Because if you accept it, it becomes yours. Okay, only accept positive affirmations, only accept positive, okay, into your life. Don't accept negative. All right, only accept the positive and reject the negative. If it's not going to help you grow, reject it. Let it come, don't let it become a part of you. Okay, and this is why it's so key, because awareness is everything. You see, if you are aware of what's going on around you, you can learn what to accept or reject. Okay, but understand this: there's really no perfect moment to start. There's no perfect moment to start. You just have to go out there and lead yourself. Don't let no outside circumstances affect your peace. Whatever is going on right now in our world, the coronavirus, the riots, everything that's going on right now, we cannot let those outside circumstances affect our internal peace, because our outside circumstances are created by our internal. So if your internal is not in place, if your internal doesn't have the clarity, if your internal is clogged, it's not going to create a good outside circumstance for you. So that's why we must always protect ourselves at all causes, right? Don't just accept your life and wait for the right time to begin. Go out there and give it everything that you have every single day, all right? Because the job that is never started always takes the longest to get finished. The job that is never started always takes the longest to get finished. So if you're just sitting here and waiting to lead yourself, then guess what? Your job is going to be prolonged, right? Great example. Let's say we were going to build a house, okay? And you're not showing up every single day to help me build this house, then guess what? The job is going to get longer to finish. It's going to take longer to finish. But guess what? If we start this up right away today, and every single day we go out there for 2 hours a day and we lay bricks down and we do what we're supposed to do, then the job is going to finish a lot faster.
All right, let's get started with today's call, guys. Here we are, and grand rising. What's up, familia? Happy Friday. So excited to be here with all of you guys today. It's always such a surreal, kind of full circle moment every time I open up the camera and I see this picture behind me, because it brings back so much memory. I had to wear the Yankees jersey to represent, and I'm just super excited to be here with all of you guys, honestly. This is the OG Mornings with Nano location. This seat right here has so much memories. It goes all the way back. It's been a while since I've been here as well. So um, for me, this is very surreal. It's very it always comes back full circle, because seeing this picture behind me, as you guys can see, that's a baby picture of me over there, which is pretty cool. So this is like, for anyone who's new on this call, this is literally my mom's house, my mom and dad's house. This is where I grew up. This is where Mornings with Nano started, right here in this exact same seat right here. I've ran countless calls here today. Like, you guys couldn't even imagine the amount of calls that I've sat right here and did, broke, busted, disgusted, voy para allá hoy, voy para allá hoy. It just really is amazing. And, I said I wanted to do something special for you guys. And I thought about, man, what do I talk about, man? What do I talk about when, you know, I come back home? Like, what's gonna be my topic? And I sat here and I said, you know what, I'm gonna bring back the squad, because I feel like a lot of you guys know how much I journal, but I need to show you guys how much I journal, right? Like, look at all the journals I have here that I recorded before I left here. Look at this. I have my whole journey recorded in these journals right here. So I have it's about eight. I think there's like two more back in my room somewhere. But I recorded the whole journey, like every single part of it, from 2019, which is when I started journaling, up until now, it's been recorded. And these are all journals for my kids. One day these are gonna turn into books. Who knows what's gonna come from this? You feel me? So like I just journaled it because I wanted one day somebody to open these, whether it's my kids, whether it was somebody. ¿Cómo te ves, Riquito? I wanted somebody to one day be able to open these and realize like, yo, Neno recorded the whole journey. He filled us in on all the experiences, the good times, the bad times, the heartbreaks, the good times in business, the bad times in business. Like it's all there. And I still have more. Like back in Miami, I think I have like 3 more. So collectively I have easily over 12 plus of these. My goal next is to get them I want to get them like labeled, like so they could tell me like, yo, was from June 2020 till this date. You feel me? So like I kind of want to label them. I haven't got a chance to label them yet, but I use the same journals. I've been using the same journal for because the way I looked at it was, I was like, yo, I gotta play chess, not checkers. I want to play chess, not checkers. So I have a very unique opportunity to journal my whole journey from the bottom to the top. Like I want to be able to record that. I want to be able to one day, and it wasn't and one of the reasons why I did it was because I didn't have the access to be able to do it much from video, from video. So I said, yo, what? Well, let me journal it so I can really express the emotion. This could be something that it's gonna be here long term. Like I'm gonna have a library one day in my house, and my kids and my grandkids and my grandkids are gonna be able to grab a journal and see like, yo, what was Grandpa Neno doing? Year 2020, 2021. Let me just read and see how he was able to overcome his challenges, his stuff, and everything like that. So it was an idea that I created and I stuck with it. And I've been doing it ever since, guys. And I was like, when I was thinking about, yo, what do I talk to the family about? I wanted to talk to you guys about your pen, your power. I sat down and I thought about, what kind of topics do I talk about with everybody here today? And I wanted to read some stuff to you guys from the journals, but I also wanted to give you guys some points as to why it's so important to do it. All right, because in the beginning, and let me tell you guys this. I waited too long to start journaling. So journaling was one of those things that I got introduced to. But when you get introduced to something and you just forget about it, you don't take action on it, you don't take it serious. And then when you start doing it, you realize how powerful it was, and you know that you should have started earlier. So that's kind of like what happened with me with journaling. Journaling wasn't something that I was into, to be honest. Call it what it is, guys. In school, I really didn't like English class or writing. I didn't like writing essays. Truth be told, I paid people to write my essays back in the days. I used to pay people 30, 40 bucks to write my essays because I just didn't like the whole writing idea. So when it came to it, and I meet one of my mentors and he tells me how important journaling is. In the beginning, I just didn't want to do it. Like I really didn't want to. It was something that I didn't desire. I wasn't like inspired by it. It wasn't something that really got me out of bed to want to do it. So in the beginning, when I was first told the importance of journaling, it was just like, yeah, whatever, cool, nice tip, great. But as the months started to pass, and I think it was over a year before I started doing it, I started to realize like that I just kept hearing it over and over again. Yo, journal and journal, and this is why it's so important, and this and this. And then one day I decided to buy a journal. I remember this was my first ever journal right here, actually. This one right here. This was my first ever journal. I actually have the dates and everything here. Let me see. My first ever journal entry. You know what? My first journal entry was an evaluation. Look at this. It was an evaluation. My first ever journal entry was from June 10th, 2019 to June 17th. It was an evaluation. And the reason why I got the journal was because my mentor kept talking about, the importance of evaluations and journaling. So I finally bought it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm a buy into this summer. So think about this, guys. This was summer 2019. So today is summer 2025. So this was 6 years ago. 6 years ago. 6 years ago, I started journaling. Like literally, I started journaling, and my life hasn't been the same since. I realized that there is power in my pen. Everything that I live today, everything today, I wrote it down in one of these journals at some point. Everything from the places I've traveled to the people that we've impacted, to the retreats, to the people we've helped, like everything, the stages I've spoken in front of, the public speaking, the podcast, all of it is written down in one of these journals, right? And I wanted to share that with you guys because I know that sometimes we may not take certain little strategies and tools that are given to us serious. But I'm here to tell you guys as one of an example. I wanted to show you guys. That's why I had to wait till I was here. Like, yo, journaling is so powerful. I can tell you guys right now, it is probably one of the key components to my life and to my success today because of everything that I've been able to accomplish. And I want to share that with you guys. And I got a couple of points here that I want to cover with you guys. Um, but I want to tell you guys this. Look, your pen is the architect of your future. All right. Because here's what I was told very early on: if you don't write your story, the world will write it for you. All right. I'm going to repeat that. If you don't write your story, then the world will write it for you. So you got to keep in mind, do you want somebody else to be the author of your story, or do you want to be the author of your story? That's the question I want you to ask yourself on this beautiful Friday morning, July 11th. Do you want to be the author of your story, or do you want someone else to be the author of your story? Because you see, up until the moment that I started journaling, someone else was the author of my story. Someone else was creating my reality. And I said, you know what? I can't let somebody else write my story. I can't let the world write my story. I can't let society write my story. I can't let my mom, I can't let my dad, I can't let nobody write my story. It is my destiny to write my own story. And that's when I started to take journaling very, very serious. Because understand, guys, your pen is not just a tool. This is a spiritual and a mental weapon that's going to help you build your foundation and design your dream life. You got to keep that in mind. It's not just a tool. When you put your pen to paper, this is not just a tool. This is going to be a spiritual and mental weapon. It's a weapon during this war that we're in to get ourselves out of the situations that we're in. So we always got to keep that in mind. So, I did a lot of journaling throughout my career, and I'm looking here and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And I love when I look at it. As a matter of fact, look, I can actually go to the first day of Mornings Veneno. So look at this. I always read this to people because this was the day before Mornings Veneno ever started, June 19th, 2019. Right? Listen to this. So look at how life works, and I want you guys to see this because you never know how close you are to your next breakthrough. Right? Listen to this and listen to the way I was talking to myself. This is how I started. This is how Mornings Veneno started in this exact same seat. All right. So here it is. This was June 19th. Listen to this story. I said, today has been a character building day so far, but I'm going to make a change once I'm done writing in this journal. You see, I attracted all these situations through my thoughts. So I need to change something ASAP. Accept what you're going through, Nano, and let's deal with it day by day. Understand, Nano, that with every adversity comes a seed of opportunity. We will grow from this. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Understand that this is the very beginning of everything. You are blessed. Some people wish they had your problems. Don't let don't let your problems overcome your dominating thoughts. Every time a problem comes to your head, accept it and love it and tell yourself three positive things. Can't let other people throw their burdens on top of you. Focus on the positive in every situation. My breakthrough is coming. I know it is. I can't wait to write about it in this journal. Stay strong, stay positive. You a legend. So listen to how I was talking to myself through tough times. You see that? Like there was a lot of it was the acceptance of, hey, Nano, you're going through something. You're going through a tough time, because back then and still to this day, I don't say, hey, I'm going through a bad time. I say I'm going through a character building time. You realize that? I started the journal by saying today has been a character building day. So most people would say, hey, today is a bad day. I don't say I have bad days. I say I have character building days. Realize that the wording, the drama is in the details. It's always in the details, right? And listen to this. I basically said, yo, today's a character building, but I'm going to make a change once I'm done writing in this journal. Listen to this. Look how I accept what I go through. You see, I attracted all these situations that are happening right now through my thoughts. I accepted that. I knew that what I was going through was because of what I was thinking. I realized that. I accepted it. I acknowledged it. No, you're going through what you're going through because of your thoughts. I realized that. I said, accept what you're going through and let's deal with it day by day. Understand that with every adversity comes a seed of opportunity. So here's why journaling is so key, right? Because if you realize I'm journaling, this is not a conversation I'm having with any, this is a conversation with myself that I'm having. Does it make it a difference when you write in blue instead of black? Because I write a lot in black. There is a little bit of a difference when you write it in blue. There's just something about the color blue, the resemblance, your ability to especially when you're writing your goals down and you're writing everything else. My mentor told me to write in blue. I've never really questioned it. I don't know the full deep down reason behind all of it. My mentor just told me white paper, blue ink, and I've never looked back ever since. Right? I know that blue has a calming effect. I know that as well. It's easier to remember stuff as well. And there's just a lot. I'm sure that black I've written some journal entries in black, but I would say 90% of my journal entries are all in blue, right? Yeah, I know there's a science behind it. I know for sure there's a science behind it, a cognitive response to it as well. It's just something behind it, but just something to think about. My mentor said blue. I never questioned it. I just never looked into it too deep either. But here's something that I realized. When you journal as well, it's a good time for you to accept things, but also talk to yourself, because remember, one of the things that I always realize is that even though I'm going through things, I speak positive to myself. So look, I said, Nano, with every adversity that you get in life, there's a seed of opportunity. I said, tough times don't last, but tough people do. This is the line right here that gets me. Now that I look back and realize everything that has happened, listen to this is the first line at the top of the back of the page. What does it say there? Understand that this is the beginning of everything. You are blessed. Some people wish they had your problems. So that line right there, understand that this is the very beginning of everything. That line hits home for me. That line literally hits home for me. You know why? Because when I think back now, everything that has happened still from this day. Remember, Mornings with Nano had not started yet. This was the day before I started Mornings with Nano. June 19th, 2019. I started Mornings with Nano June 20th, the very next day. I have all of this recorded. Like, think about it, guys. If I would have never recorded this, if I would have never journaled, I wouldn't have this moment. I wouldn't have been able to remember what my thoughts were that day. This is why it's so important. This is why it's so important. I wrote down, understand, Nano, that this is the very beginning of everything. 6 years ago. 2019. 6 years ago. This is so key. And it was literally the beginning. Like, this was point A right here. And right now is July 11th, 2025, and right now we're at point B. Look at everything that's happened in between. It was all part of the process, and we're still there. And you know what I always say? That the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next one. Right now, people may look at me and you may say, well, I know you're at the top of the mountain, but in reality, I'm at the bottom of the next one that I gotta climb. This is so important. So I love that, Clem. You can't connect the dots going forward. You can only connect them going backwards. So I'm here and I'm accepting everything. And then here, and then this is the key right here. Listen to this. So then I gave myself advice. Look, I'm giving myself advice. Yo, Nano, every time a problem comes to your head, accept it, love it, and tell yourself 3 positive things. Can't let other people throw their burdens on top of you. Focus on the positive in every situation. And here's another word that gets me. My breakthrough is coming. I know it is, and I can't wait to write about it in this journal. Stay strong, stay positive, Nano. You a legend. I literally finished that off right there. Stay strong, stay positive. You a legend. You ever heard that line? Drake says, I was a legend, or I said I was a legend before I knew I was, or before it ever came true. Like, for me, that is so, it's so surreal that all these things are happening the way that they are, and that I wrote all about these things. Because I believed in myself before, like, guys, and this specific moment right here, I was broke here. I had no money in the bank. I was still living in my parents' house. Remember, I didn't really move out of my parents' house till 2021, 22-ish. So I was still, I was still here. I was still living here for another, it took me like another 2 years from this point, from this moment, to move out of here. So I want you guys to understand that it was a lot of work. And then look, the next day, I start mornings with Nano. And look at the journal entry. Extremely grateful for the morning I just had. Today was the start of my morning with Nano mastermind. It was a great success. I shared a lot of great information, and now I'm gonna stay consistent with these calls. I want to thank my brother Mazner for the idea, and to think that yesterday was a little character building day for me. Always focus on the now. Understand that what's going to happen happens to everyone. It's what we do about what happens that will determine our future. Sheesh. I am going to stay consistent with these calls until they blow up. And then I'm going to offer the idea of becoming a part of the ACE program. I guess I had this idea of the ACE program. The ACE program is going to change the game for all leaders. I will be working daily to develop leaders and skills for everyone. Pray that the more ideas I get will flow into my head so I can continue to take action on them. Asking the right questions are the key to success. So, and I've been consistent with these calls. You see how that works? It's crazy, but I wanted to show you guys this stuff because obviously this call will take me years to cover, of all the trainings and all the stuff that I have here. Just looking through all of this, man, it really is surreal. I look through it all the time. I look through it all the time. I really do, man. Evaluations. Look at this. I used to do this every time also as well. I would write down things that I was grateful for, my affirmations. So I would write down, let me see, right here I wrote down 7 affirmations. So up here I would always write my affirmations, then my gratitude, and then my goals. I did that every day. I did that every single day. I would write down my affirmations, I would write down my gratitude, and then I would write down my goals every day, every day, every day. Every day. Look at this. Every day I would write it down. Affirmations, goals, and gratitude. Affirmations, goals, and gratitude every day. Look, every single day. Look, this day I wrote in black. Every day. So these are foundational things that a lot of us we take them for granted and we don't do them. But it was every single day. It was every single day, every single day, every single day. Look, I could sit here one by one, guys, and I could just show you guys day by day how I just write it down, and like it's literally nonstop. Nonstop, 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 nonstop. nonstop, every single day, every single day, every single day. And that's kind of like what I wanted to remind you guys of as well. Like, this is my first journal ever. Look, funny, if you will not imagine yourself as other than what you are, then you will remain as you are. Such a powerful quote. This is so powerful, fam. Just for me looking at this, today is day 2 of being consistent with my morning routine. Holy wow, look at that. Day 2. Just looking through this stuff, man, is good stuff, man. Really good stuff. Here's when I hit 6 figures. I wrote it down. I wrote a lot of stuff, fam, for real. But let me get in more into the training, right? Because I could sit here and I could look through all this stuff like while I'm on this call with you. But there's a couple of points I wanna cover here on this call with you guys, and I want to start with the first one, right? Which is journaling creates self-awareness. That's the first thing I want you guys to understand. Journaling creates self-awareness. Understand that before you build anything great, you need to understand the ground that you're standing on. That's what we need to understand first. The ground that we're standing on. Where are we? My mentor was told me, said, Nano, you can't take people to where you want to go without starting where they are. Listen to that again. You can't take people where you want to go without starting where they are. Right? I would love to take you guys to where we're going, right? That's my goal. I would love to take you guys there. Absolutely. But I got to start where you guys are right now. Some of you guys are in great positions. Some of you guys are in so-so positions. Some of you guys are in tough positions. The beauty of it is, guys, I like to show you guys by example that either way, you can make it out. I've been in all situations. I've been in good situations. I've been in hard situations. I've been in half-half situations. We can get out of those as long as we commit to understanding and doing the day-to-day work that is going to allow us to grow into those versions of ourselves. And if I'm you, I record it because you see, I can go back to these journal entries and I can learn from the old Nano. I can learn from the old Nano. Look at how old Nano 6 years ago, look at his perspective. I could look back in that and be like, damn, Nano, like you were looking at things very beautiful. Look at how positively you used to talk to yourself. Look at how you used to talk to yourself. Look at how your perspective was. Look at the way you used to write about the things that you were going through. All of that. Look at how you used to speak breakthroughs into existence. You were talking about having breakthroughs before you had breakthroughs. Like all of these things become realities because guess what? I'm talking about them. I'm speaking about them. I'm writing about them. And because I know I'm thinking about it, because think about it, what you write about is what you're thinking about. What you're thinking about is what you believe your reality is. So you got to remember, guys, your journaling creates self-awareness because it makes you aware of your thoughts, your emotions, your patterns, and your desires. This is why journaling is so key. This is something I don't want you guys to miss because look, guys, if I could go back, I wish I would have started journaling in 2017 when I first learned about it. 2018 when I first learned about it. Yes, it took me about 1.5 years to finally do it, but I did it. And look, today I have zero regrets. I'm actually grateful that I journaled all those entries throughout the years because they're all here now. And you know what's funny? I haven't even read a lot of these. I've read a lot of them, but some of them I haven't read. There's just so many journals. There's too many to count from. Too many, like way too many to count from. Like, sheesh, too many. And usually my favorite one is the one with the tree on it. And it's funny that the one with the heart right here, I did once with the heart, and during this time was when I went through my breakup, I think, if I'm not mistaken. This one was tough too as well. This was a tough one for sure. Don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But there's just so much, right, that has, helped me out and has helped me grow. So the first thing I want you guys to understand is that journaling creates self-awareness. That's number one. Number two, right? This is point number two. Scripting rewires your reality. Your pen is a magic wand. All right. Your pen is your magic wand. Like, you can sit down and you can create the life that you want in from a perspective that it's already done. All right. From the perspective that it's already done. What's the reason to burn the edges of the pages again? It's just to, like, you know, basically, basically it's a resemblance that version of you is dead. Like, that person is no longer you anymore. Like, you're just leaving the past behind. Let me see. I want to find something for you guys where, give me one sec. This is wild. January 12th. Wow, I'm actually, so it's funny. Listen to this. I want to share this with you guys, actually. I was having a breakthrough on this day. It was in January, it was January 12th, 2020, right? And I'm on course, success, blah, blah, hold up. Then we could consistently vibration, blah, 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 blah. When we took the picture, it was 1221. Crazy because my number repeated, has some Melissa breakthrough, recording independence. Before I got on a call with Alex, not with Alex Morton, with Bob Proctor, a friend of mine a year before had a dream that I was going to do a call with Bob Proctor. So I'm trying to look for it. And lastly, paradigm, everything leads back to him. More. So listen to this. So I found it. So I did a call with Bob Proctor, January 21st, 2021. That was the exact date. A year before that, on January 2020, a friend of mine told me, yo, I had a dream that you did a call with Bob Proctor. Like, I had a dream like that you were working with Bob Proctor. And I remember I wrote it down. I'm like, yo, it's crazy because Millie, that was the girl that told me that. She was like, yo, Millie told me about a dream that I was doing calls with Bob Proctor and that I was going to be one of his students and so on and so forth. Little did I know that exactly a year from when she told me that, the dream became a reality. And I used to write about it, right? And I wrote a whole thing about it. It was incredible. Like, everything that I've written down, it all comes to fruition. Now, I want to show you guys another thing here, because I remember I wrote something around here in February. I like this one right here. Listen to this one. This is not a scripting one, but look at this one. This was Wednesday, February 5th, 2020. I said, I want to take this journal entry to be completely honest with myself. For the last few days, my mind hasn't been in vibrational harmony with my desires. I've been too focused on the lack of money, the lack of people in my business, and just lack in general. But that's not benefiting me at all. It's only attracting more negative thoughts. This is all part of the learning process. I am working every day to get my mind where it needs to be. And I am moving forward. I am focusing on what I truly want. Thoughts of negativity are good because they help me truly define what I really want. So I'm going to be aware of my thoughts all day, and I'm going to practice pivoting every day moving forward, which is switching negative thoughts to a positive one. from lack thoughts to abundance thoughts. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have an abundance of positive thoughts flowing into my life. Thank you. I have a huge event in the Frank Sinatra room, and I'm super excited about what's coming in this next front. Before your greatest achievement comes, you will be knocked down. To whom much is given, much is tested. This test I'm taking right now, I'm going to ace it, and I'm ready to take on any challenges moving forward. So this was a good journal entry. I remember reading that one, and actually I did a whole training on that one because that was the time where I was also being challenged. There's so many good ones here, man. Like it's absolutely insane when you take a look back because you get a chance to realize like guys, yo, y'all not the only ones that go through tough times. Like yo, I've written there's probably more tough time journals entries in here than than scripting because there's been so many tough times. But had it not been for me writing down my tough times, like this was my therapy. This is where I would let go. This is where I would be able to understand everything that happened to me. Let me see right now. I highlighted something here. So look, listen to this. Look at how crazy this is. So remember, I wrote it down February 5th. Now March 9th. This is a whole month later. I was struggling. I know I was struggling during this time. Look, first I want to say I am grateful for God for blessing me with everything I have right now. Listen to this right here. Lately, I've been feeling out of sync. It's kind of hard to describe how I feel, so I'm just going to write about it and hope that I can interpret it. I feel stuck, but at the same time, I don't. I know great things are coming into my life, but it feels like something is blocking me from them. I know a lot of it has to do with my thought patterns, but what's causing me to think this way? I feel disconnected. I am not in harmony with myself. My physical and spiritual realities are out of sync, and it feels like my blessings are right around the corner, but there's demons standing in front of them. There's demons standing in front of these blessings that I must fight. God is the answer. I must pray and ask for strength and guidance on how to fight all these demons in my life right now. A breakthrough is on the other side of these demons. I will do whatever it takes to defeat them. No effort, no more effort is required. I must do things differently and surrender myself to God. You, God, are my savior and my protector. Guide me through this journey and allow me to have the strength to defeat every demon that stands in the way of my dreams. I am blessed and grateful for you, my God. Without you, I have nothing. Forgive me of my sins, and if I ever made you feel unappreciated, everything I worked for was taken from me in the blink of an eye. I was more grateful for the blessings I was receiving than being more grateful for you, the one who was responsible for it all. Thank you for this learning lesson. I know you didn't do it to hurt me, you did it to show me the right way of living life. So when the next blessing comes, I thank the source for everything, which was you, God. Thank you. It's so crazy because I'm listening to this and now I remember where this was. This moment right here, that the journal that I'm reading from, this was the journal where I had reached my six-figure income and I had lost everything a couple months later. And I was in this season, this beginning of this year was one of the hardest times of my life because at the top of the last year, which was 2019, I had hit my all-time highs in life. I hit my all-time high in life. So end of 2019, I hit all-time highs. Beginning of 2020 was one of the hardest times of my life because I had lost everything I had worked for in 2019. So this journal right here is me describing like how many of us could relate to maybe what I just wrote right there. Listen, yo, have any of you guys been feeling out of sync? Put a 2 in the chat. Has anybody been feeling out of sync maybe? Right? Look, it's kind of hard to describe how I feel, so I'm just going to write about it, right? I feel stuck, but at the same time, I don't. Anybody feels like that where you feel stuck, but at the same time, you don't? Look at what I write down. I know great things are coming into my life, but it feels like something is blocking me from them. I know a lot of it has to do with your thought patterns, right? You realize that like I'm having like real conversations with myself, you know? So it was just amazing stuff. Let me see. Now look into this. As things start getting better. Wow, this stuff is powerful, guys. I really want you guys to buy into this for real, because look, April 4th, still struggling, bro. Still struggling. Remember, I started reading from you guys in February. It's April. February, March, April. Still struggling. April 4th. I feel grateful for everything in my life, the obstacles, the challenges, and the hardship. If I'm being honest, I feel disconnected, frustrated sometimes. I feel like the amount of work I put in, all the trainings I do, how much I care for people is undervalued. I'm not sure why I feel like this, but I have to change ASAP. Not too focused on the lack. I just know I deserve more. I trust you, Jesus, to guide me during this time. Show me the way. Boom, 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 boom. So, look, guys, sometimes you go through long seasons of struggle. It's part of it. That's literally part of the journey. Look at another time. This was amazing right here. I had a conversation with Les Brown. Put a 3 in the chat if you know who Les Brown is. Anybody know who Les Brown is? Anybody know who Les Brown is, right? So I was invited on a call where I got a chance to ask Les Brown a question. This was on, let me see. This was April 13th, April 12th. No, it was April 11th. So listen to this. So I was on a call, and my mentor, his name was Sean Murphy. He is good friends with Les Brown. So he had invited Les Brown on the call to answer questions. I raised my hand and I got chosen to ask a question. Now I haven't read this journal entry, so I want to read it to you guys. So it says, I want to start by saying I am grateful for everything in my life right now. Thank you, Jesus. On April 11th, 2020, my mentor Sean invited me to ask Les Brown a question. Les Brown is one of the most legendary motivational speakers to walk this earth. His story is very powerful. Boom, boom, boom. Let me see the value being dropped. Then it comes my turn to ask a question. I ask, what is the bear? Oh, this is the question I asked Les Brown. What is the biggest barrier I can expect to face on my journey to becoming a legend like him? So that's literally the question I asked Les Brown. I remember the Zoom. I said, Les, what is the biggest barrier that I can accept, that I can expect to face on my journey to becoming a legend just like you? That's literally what I asked him. I said, yo, what's going to be the biggest barrier that I face on my journey to become a legend just like you? And you know what his answer was? Can anybody guess what his answer was? Anybody want to guess? Yourself, absolutely. The answer was myself. His answer to me was myself. He said, I am the biggest barrier I will face. If I don't fight the enemy within, there will continue to be enemies and obstacles on the outside. If there is no enemy within, then there will be no enemy without. I have to grow and get rid of those demons inside. Then his son John told me to wake up, wake up. This is my moment. This is my time to go out there and accomplish everything I ever wanted to. It's my time. Let's go out there and be legendary. So important. So important. So key. When did things get better? Things started to get better for sure. Yo, it's really amazing, guys, how stuff really happens. Because you know, when you sit there and you do it, all of this is incredible, honestly. Like I sit here and I'm going through this with you guys. Like once I'm done with this call, I'm gonna go through it again. But you can really sit down and create your future if you're willing to do it. Like you can grab your pen, you can visit the future version of you, and you can start writing about it right now and create it from scratch. But the beauty of it is, guys, about all of this is that this journaling is therapy. Like point number 2 says scripting rewires your reality, right? If you sit down and you script and you talk about like the life that you're gonna live and you write about it and you journal about it and you do these things, like it will become a reality, guys. I'm telling you, it all becomes a reality. All of it, all of it, all of it becomes realities. You just got to sit down and create it, honestly. That's really all you have to do. You have to sit down and you have to create it every single day. Every single day, you have to write it down. Write it down. What is that story you want to live? How much money are you making? What does your bank account look like? How are you taking care of your family? How are you taking care of your kids? Write it down. Write it down in the perspective that it's already happening. I'm so grateful that I'm waking up in my dream condo on the beach, so on and so forth. I'm making this amount of money. Like everything I ever wrote down, it all came to fruition. I used to write down, I'm so grateful now that I'm living on a condo on the beach. I was living on a condo on the beach. I was so happy and grateful now that I was earning over $30,000 a month. I started earning $30,000 a month. I was grateful that I built a 6-figure crypto portfolio. My 6-figure crypto portfolio became a reality. I was writing down that I'm going to speak on stages all around the world. I've spoken on stages all around the world. I wrote down that I'm going to travel the world and I'm going to visit over 20 countries. I've visited over 20 countries. I wrote down that I was going to be able to take care of my parents' bills. I've taken care of my parents' bills. Like everything that I ever wrote down, it all came a reality. All of it, every single one, every single thing. And guess what? Now I'm writing about it for the future I'm looking to create now. That's the thing, is I want you guys to understand this. Like, this is something you can't stop doing. You can't stop doing this stuff. Oh, here's when I was living in Sunny Isles Beach. Crazy. Let me see what I was writing about here. This was another tough time too for me. I know I was writing. We're back, day 2. I love it, man. Oh, look at this. This is when I'm starting to build my. I like to see this right here. Preparing myself for a 90-day run, day 3, day 4. Look at how I used to write. So look at this. This is how I used to start my thing. My story for 2022. So I used to always do this every single year. I would create my story. 3 years ago, I journaled I wanted to have $5,000 on my Coinbase, and yesterday I got there. Let's go, Alexandra. Let's go. Look, my story for 2022, I write about it. Look at how I started. I started with yes, yes, yes. Thank you, God. More of this. I'm at peace of mind and healthy. My relationship with God is so strong, and this feels incredible. Self mastery is my only option. I'm so thankful that I am earning $100,000 a month. I have a team of over 5,000 members. I have 10 people in my business earning 6 figures in my organization. And then I mentioned every person, which is crazy. Listen to this. Every person I mentioned in this is no longer here with me. That's wild. I'm looking at the names right now. None of them are here. Every person that I was journaling for is not here right now. That's so wild. It's the people that I thought were I was gonna make 6 figures with. None of them are in my life anymore. Some of them are, but majority of them aren't. I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people here. I said, yo, these 10 people are gonna be 6-figure earners in my business. And out of all of them, I'm still connected to like 4 of them out of 10. That's life. I want you to understand that too as well, that not everybody that's with you is not going to be there with you at the end. A lot of these people quit. They quit on themselves. And you know what? Here's the sad part about this. And I love all of them too as well. I wouldn't even talk bad about them as well. But a lot of them quit to go back to doing what they were doing before, fam. The sad thing is that they quit to just go back to doing what they were doing before. They didn't quit to do better. They quit to just go back to doing what they were doing. They were so close, 3 feet from gold, but they quit. They didn't believe. They didn't believe. They let the challenges get the best of them. Exactly. It was easier for them to quit. So, that's also something. But yeah, boom. So blessed, grateful. I bought and built a beautiful house for my mom and dad. They're relaxing, enjoying life. They're healthier than they've ever been. My crypto portfolio is up 7 figures. Let's go. NFTs, crypto, traveling the world to 5 new countries this year. Look at that. I was excited to visit 5 new countries. I visited over 20 countries already. I am a world-renowned speaker in English and Spanish. I was speaking this for years, guys. Holy smokes, bro. I was literally speaking about that for years. My crypto portfolio still hasn't hit 7 figures. It's almost there, though. It's almost there. I have become a world-renowned speaker, though, so that came true. All of it, man. This is incredible. Yeah, fam. This training is basically over. I just really wanted to show you guys like a lot of this stuff, like the good, the bad. I wanted you guys to see like how it all works. Please take advantage of it, fam. Your pen is really your power. Flight from Portugal to Miami. Oh, this one was crazy. That story is nuts right there. The story when I got my passport, that one was crazy. Man, I miss living in Sunny Isles, bro. I can't wait. About me? No, it was the one about so when I was supposed to go to Barcelona and I went to take my flight, and then they said because my passport expired in 2 months that they couldn't let me fly and all that stuff. And wow. That one was a crazy story. I snuck into the DMV and I ended up getting my passport. I flew out, and that was the time that I got announced as an educator for the $1 billion company. Yeah, guys, this is it, fam, for real. This is what it's all about right here. Like honestly, like if you guys can get in the habit of doing this, like if I could sit down, oh look, self-care Saturdays. I remember my self-care Saturdays. I used to do these things where every Saturday was self-care days for me, where I would just take the time to, focus on me and make sure that I was good. And guys, this is what life is about right here, to be real. Like there's what I really want to do is I'm gonna go through a lot of these. I'm gonna study my journals. Like I want to study every single one of my journals and find like the key journal entries that really made the shift from the good ones to the bad ones to the scripting ones to the ones, because it was so powerful to see it all come to fruition, to be honest. Like it was a lot that happened over the years that I've been very blessed and fortunate to record all of it. And I want you guys to get in the habit of doing this, right? Because like I said, scripting rewires your reality, right? I said journaling creates self-awareness. Like, I'm honest with myself. I'm real with myself. I write down my gratitude. I write down my affirmations. I write down my goals. I write down my honest reviews on myself. Like, these are all things that I want you guys to get in the habit of doing. All right, because if you guys are able to do this, like I said, yes, there's a lot of things that I've done outside of this, like the hard work and the calls and the trainings and everything else. But a lot of it stemmed from this. This was my foundation right here. This is how I built belief. This is how I built confidence in myself. This was this was my therapist. This was my accountability partner. This was my everything right here. Like, this right here was how I would talk to God, how I would let go of my thoughts. This is how I created awareness for myself. And guys, look, I'm telling you guys right now, if you guys get in the habit of journaling, this would be one of the key components of your life in the future. Guaranteed. As a matter of fact, it's going to be one of the main things that we do while we're at the retreat in El Salvador at the end of the year. You guys are going to be getting one of these, by the way. You guys are going to get your own personal El Salvador journals for those that are coming to the retreat, just so that you guys know. So, like, you're going to get one of these while you're at the retreat, and we're going to journal while we're there. Every day we're going to journal, because I want you to journal that experience. Because the person that you're going to show up as at that retreat, and the person that you're going to be leaving that retreat, and then everything that you're going to do while you're at that retreat, plus after you leave that retreat, is going to be absolutely life-changing. Okay? So, like, keep this in mind, guys. It's about to be some life-changing information that's about to happen. And I just can't wait for everybody that's coming to the retreat, honestly. Like, everybody that comes to the retreat, and I haven't selected everyone yet. I'm still having conversations. It was so many submissions, and since I've been in New York, I haven't got a chance to get to everybody. But I have maybe like a couple of houses still left. If I haven't got in contact with you, trust me, I will. I want to get in contact with every single person. It's just been hard. I've been literally nonstop, but I have spoken to a lot of people as well. And I'm going to be accepting all of the deposits this weekend as well. So I'll be in contact with a lot of you guys as well. So I look forward to it. But with that being said, I want you guys to just take this all in. I wanted today's training to be more open. I didn't really want it to be like, here's the 3 points of success and that's it, right? Like, I wanted to, bro, I would love for you to record this, bro. Please. I would love for you to record. But I would love for you guys to like really take this in and just use it as a source of inspiration and be like, you know what? Maybe I'm not journaling enough, but it's not too late to start. Let me start now. Especially if you're in a part in your place and in your journey that you want to look back 5 years from now and you want to be like, yo, I want to be able to look 5 years from now and catch those moments like Neno did. Like, I want you guys to catch those moments. Those moments that if you don't record them, if you don't write them down, nobody will ever know, guys. You don't have the capacity in your mind to remember those moments. I would have never been able to remember that moment, that day before Mornings with Nano, had I not written it down. I would have never been able to write down those honest moments, those tough moments, those moments where I wrote down everything that I'm gonna live today. I have it all written down in these journals. Trust me, it will be one of the biggest components to your success, to your rewiring, to your paradigms, to everything that you're looking to work on. Like, everything you got to do to be successful, it starts with the journal. I promise you that. The ability to build your confidence, your ability to build your belief in yourself, the ability to build a closer relationship with God, the ability to rewire your mind, all of it, everything that you could ever imagine that's required to become successful, the foundation of it is in your journaling. All right, guys. So with that being said, if you guys got value from today's session, put a 444 in the chat. We'll end the call right there. And then I'll do a little prayer for us really, really quick prayer. Everybody bow your heads and let's pray. Just want to say thank you. Father God, just want to say thank you so much for waking us up on this beautiful day We're always so blessed and so grateful for everything that you do for us. Thank you for this community. Thank you for the life. Thank you for everyone that's here with us each and every single day. Thank you for the journal entries that have allowed us to grow, become better, that have allowed us to become aware of the negative thoughts that don't benefit us, that have allowed us to grow each and every single day. Thank you, thank you, thank you for it all, God. Honestly, we don't even want to ask for anything. We just want to say thank you for the life that you've blessed us with, and thank you for the challenges that have helped us grow. We're excited to grow. We're excited to elevate. And in your name we pray. Amen. Amen, amen, amen. Look at what I got here. My mom just flexes for me. Gracias, ma. All right, guys, let me get some food. My mom just made me some fire breakfast, and I'm excited, fam. You guys get to see the real sauce, fam. This is the best thing ever. So I love you guys. Everything that we do is for the family, and can't wait to get her this house. I promise her, fam. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys on Monday. God bless.